What's up, guys? It's your boy Goblins, and I'm back. I'm back off vacation. I'm sorry I was gone. Today we're going to be covering that live stream that happened yesterday, which is some big stuff. Some big stuff went down. I want to cover it as fast as possible because everyone took too long to cover that stuff. That hour-long live stream was long. It was a long episode. It was a long thing to watch. So this time we're just gonna cruise through it really quick. I'm just gonna let you know all the cool stuff that went down during that live stream. We're gonna condense that entire hour into like something that's under 10 minutes, hopefully. So hopefully, let's get to it. But yeah, I do apologize, guys. I was on vacation. Here's a picture of me getting pretty turned, harassing my little brother. It was a good time. I had a good time. So, yeah, I'm back. So let's talk about that Destiny Taken King Tower walkthrough on all the new stuff that's going down. And there's some crazy shit that's going down, man. The first thing that they kind of mentioned is that if you're level 34 right now, you're going to be level 34 come the Taken King. Your light level and all that stuff is going to translate directly into your level. Meaning if you're level 34 right now, you are going to be level 34 come the Taken King. So let's say you're level 30, 32, whatever it is, when the Taken King comes out, you will be at that level when the DLC drops. So now you guys are asking, what's really going on with light level? What's happening with light level is essentially it's an average of all of your gear to put together, and it's kind of like in the same essence like a light level from an actual RPG. Or sorry, an item level, essentially. So let's take Deej for example here. He's level 34, but his actual item level is 186. This light level slash item level essentially is an accumulative number that's the average of all of your stuff put together. So the reason that he's 186 right now is because his ghost shell is only 170, meaning everything else he's wearing right now is 190, and the only thing that holds him back a little bit is that ghost shell, meaning he is 186. Your item level slash light level is contributed from your armor, your ghost shell, your mark, your weapons, everything that you're wearing all put together contributes to that light level now. Now, what that light level altogether represents is how powerful of a guardian you actually are right now in this moment right here today, you know what I'm saying? Afterwards, they talked a little bit about how strength, intellect, and discipline all kind of make sense now. They gave it an actual bar to see what it actually does and how effective it is at certain numbers and whatnot. So now you can actually scroll over your strength, discipline, and intellect and actually see, okay, this makes sense because this amount of gear is getting put towards this, and will directly affect my abilities in this amount of seconds, essentially, which is really good stuff. Like, before we didn't really know, but now we kind of have an idea of what it is actually doing for us in that moment. Now, while they were in the inventory screen, they of course went over to the new quests tab, which shows literally all your quests and all your bounties. As you guys know, they increased the amount of bounties you can have in one go to 16, and the amount of quests that you have in your quest tab is 32. So quests and bounties are completely different, and they actually do different things for you. Bounties, as you guys know, of course, increase your rep as you guys do stuff in the Crucible, or with factions, or with Vanguard stuff, whatever it is. And actual quests do different things for you. So when you accept quests, they actually give you real rewards by talking to certain people in the tower and whatnot and going and embarking on those quests. Meaning they're only adding more to do, considering there's going to be 32 quest slots. 2 quest slots! There's so much you can do now! But quests are actually going to be worthwhile because they give you certain rewards when you hover over them. So I'm going to log into the Destiny universe one day and go, okay, this is what I want to do for this quest so I can get these materials or this weapon and put it towards my character. That being said, there's going to be actual quest chains instead of these constant weird like bounty chains that they have going. They're completely separate now. And once again, bounties will earn you rep and levels and all that stuff, whereas quests will actually earn you stuff and things. And with bounties, you can now hover over your bounties and select to have markers on them. I believe they said you could select up to 6 bounties at one time, and what these markers do essentially is make it so when you bring up your ghost, it's actually going to show all your tracked bounties. Meaning you no longer have to go into your inventory and go, okay, I gotta fucking do this to do this, and, you know, hover over each individual one. You can now simply just hit your ghost up, and if you have the bounty tracked, it's going to show on the bottom right of your screen, which is awesome stuff. Now, more while they're in the inventory, they also talked about the Spark of Light, which is a consumable that you're all going to get when the Taken King drops. This Spark of Light allows you to make a new character, use this as a consumable, and they're instantly at level 25, and their gear is all put at level 25, which is super awesome. So that being said, if you plan on making a new character, wait till Taken King comes out so you can use the Spark of Light and have your new toon already outfitted with all the level 25 gear he needs. Super convenient if you're new to Destiny and you want to play with your friends. That's awesome stuff. Now, they're not saying you have to use it. It's just if you want to use it, then go ahead. It makes it so you can play with your friends sooner. Now, next up for the visit, they went and took a visit to the speaker, who now allows you to, once again, still exchange all your materials and whatnot, but he now sells different types of ghosts. These different types of ghosts, as I mentioned in my last video, are actually going to do things for you. So each of these ghosts that the speaker is actually selling is going to do something particular for you, which is pretty cool. And also, it once again goes towards your light level, which is awesome. So let's say like one ghost will give you more glimmer for something, or like more experience going towards something. Similar to how the new bonds, marks, and cloaks all work. When you have one equipped, it does certain things for you. So for example, one hunter cloak will maybe give me more experience used towards a certain gun, or it'll give me more glimmer drops for certain guys. Whatever it is, they actually do things now. So ghosts and bonds, marks, and cloaks all do stuff for you. Now as you guys can see, he doesn't sell emblems anymore, and that's because any emblem you buy or find actually is going to be obtainable in a much different way come the Taken King. And as they mentioned, there's also going to be a new place to hold all of your emblems. This new place essentially is a terminal located right outside of the speaker. It allows you to outfit your guardian with all sorts of different emblems and whatnot, and it frees up a lot of vault space and inventory space, so you kind of just pick and choose whichever ones you want and go from there, which is good stuff. So you don't have to constantly be sitting there like, oh, I don't want to break this emblem because I like this emblem. You can now just simply break it, and it's always going to be available at that terminal, which makes collecting it a lot easier now. I don't have to fucking sit there and be like, oh man, I gotta break this emblem because I need to put a, you know, something else there. I can now just break them and grab them whenever I want to, and it'll never disappear. It's tied to my account. That's awesome. It's super awesome. While they were in this area, they talked a little bit about factions and whatnot as well. Factions now work a little bit differently. You no longer have to wear their bond, cloak, or mark, essentially, to earn points as that faction. You now have to pledge an allegiance to a faction, and you cannot change that within the week. So let's say I pledge my allegiance to New Monarchy. That means I can still switch, but I can't switch for the entirety of the week. So I better hope that the faction I'm going for is the faction I fucking want to go for, you know what I'm saying? And another awesome thing is that going into Taken King, your faction levels don't reset. That's right. So let's say I'm like level 20 Dead Orbit, or like level 20 New Monarchy, because I play the game too much. I get to keep my rep and just buy stuff right off the bat. Oh yeah. Now to buy this stuff, it works a little bit differently now. To buy Crucible stuff, Vanguard stuff, anything faction based, I now need legendary marks. Your legendary marks are going to be an accumulative of Crucible and Vanguard marks. So, Crucible and Vanguard marks are no longer going to exist. They're automatically going to be translated right into legendary marks, which just makes the currency a little bit more universal. Meaning, as I do strikes, as I do Crucible, all that stuff, I attain legendary marks, and with those legendary marks, I can buy legendary gear. From anybody! Anybody. Now, we kind of got a sneak peek at what new armor looks like and what it does. They've added new perks to make it so, like, for example, maybe one piece of armor will offer more solar damage, or will offer, like, better solar resistance, or better arc resistance, or better arc damage, whatever it is. You can now attune your guardian accordingly. And I can imagine it'll be very helpful in Nightfall strikes, facing up against certain, you know, different aliens and whatnot. And maybe even a little bit of PvP, definitely in Iron Banner, which is pretty sweet. So now you're going to want to have a loadout that's dedicated to like arc damage, solar damage, and void damage. So now it's not all about what your weapons look like, it's now what your weapons and your armor look like altogether. Now with factions, you can also donate to them. You can donate weapon supplies, armor supplies, motes of light, whatever it is, and you can actually earn rep by doing so. So anyone that's been playing the game prior to Taken King will probably want to do that so they can get their rank up really quick. And of course, earn new gear, which is awesome. Now afterwards, they went over to the Crucible vendors a little bit and just kind of went over how they work. And as I mentioned, you know, everything works off legendary marks now, and we have these new things called quests. Well, the Crucible quests work a little bit differently. The Crucible quests that are available, you essentially can pick them up, and if you complete all 5 Crucible quests within the week, there's a high chance of Nightfall tier rewards that drop for you. So you kind of just work your way through these Crucible quests and get them done for the week, and, you know, good stuff comes to you. Because that last quest that Shaxx has to offer you is, once again, a Nightfall tier rewarded quest, which is awesome. And the Crucible stuff's all green and blue. It's really weird, but I don't know, it could be cool. I haven't really seen green and blue in Destiny yet, so that's you know, I could vibe with that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then they went on to talk about exotic blueprints a little bit as well. This is essentially how the shaders and the emblems and all that stuff are going to work as well. These little terminals essentially are just like collectible terminals, and once again, it'll never get erased from your account. It is always there. So you can pull out whatever emblems and shaders you want because you've already collected them on one character. It is cross your account and it'll be there permanently. So they did the same thing with exotics. Exotics work the same way, except to pull the exotics out of the terminal, you need to spend an exotic shard plus 2,500 glimmer, which isn't too bad. But that being said, you don't have to, you don't get fucking duplicate exotics anymore. Oh, that's awesome. No more duplicate exotics. They're all just going to be there. The game recognizes what you've collected and will give you rewards accordingly, and that is the same for shaders, emblems, and exotics across the board. Now they stopped on the menu a little bit and showed that some exotics got a new Taken King version, which is level 40 for these exotics. So you have level 20 exotics and level 40 exotics. These level 20 exotics look like, you know, the exotics we've come to know as today. The Taken King exotics are like reskinned, they look super fresh, they have new perks, they're all about that new Taken King life, and they're all level 40. So that's pretty sweet. Just a quick example of this, they show the Suros regime. As you guys know, the Suros right now is white and red. The level 40 Suros in Taken King is like a dark chrome and red. Like it looks like super like badass. And it looks like, according to these thumbnails here, the Red Death is gonna be all black at level 40, which is, that's pretty fucking cool, man. I want an all black Red Death. I want that. I want it! Afterwards, they walked over to the Cryptarch, and the Cryptarch now sells legendary engrams. Oh, what? Cool! Yeah! And it's not like they're gonna decrypt into, like, weird shit. They're actually gonna decrypt into legendary stuff. So let's say I buy, like, the legendary secondary engram. It's gonna fucking decrypt into legendary secondary, you know? It's not gonna be like some weird blues or greens. It'll actually, like, do stuff. Something to note as well is that legendary marks are earned all the same ways as you've been earning them right now. It's just that now they carry across all characters and they still cap at 200 marks. So let's say I have 200 marks and I want to still get more. Unfortunately, I can't. I have to go spend them. And that's, once again, between all characters. I have to go spend all those marks right here, right now. But once again, I can get as many marks as I fucking want to in a week. That's cool shit. Yeah. That is, of course, through, like, different activities and whatnot, though. So, yeah. So, sorry. Yeah, it looks like 130 legendary marks for one engram, and 60 for the chest, and 60 for the legendary engram, just like regular class item engram. So I'm pretty hyped for that. Next up, we go over to our old pal Banshee. Now, as you guys know, we're not really over here that often because he doesn't sell that much stuff, except for like maybe heavy ammo. But now he has rep, and he has Arms Day. Arms Day is every Wednesday, and you have a chance of getting a fresh new gun on Wednesday. Yeah! So Banshee sells these, like, test weapons or whatever, and you take them out into the field, and you test them and use them avidly out in the field, and as you use them, you gain rep for the gunsmith. Once you hit rank 1, you can buy these gunsmith packages, which is an Arms Day order. And when you purchase that, that means you get a gun on Wednesday, which is Arms Day, okay? We got Days and Arms Day now, son! Yeah! So you hit rank 1, you buy an Arms Day order, and then you get a fresh new weapon on Wednesday. That's what I'm talking about right there. Now, let's say he gives you something that's legendary and you really like it. You're like, oh, this is sweet, I want to upgrade this. There is a new way of ascending that is actually considered nowadays, and this ascension is through other weapons. So any Taken King weapons I can go into if I really like it as a legendary or exotic. And at the bottom left, there's like this little button, this little ascension button. That doesn't look like the ascension we know today, but it's kind of similar. And you click that button, and it allows you to upgrade the damage and output of that weapon by sacrificing a different weapon for it. It essentially, like, consumes that weapon to get its power, or some shit, I don't know. But, it's Ascension, essentially. It's cool. And boom, there you go. Your weapon's all balled out, and you can keep using it indefinitely. Now, next up, they talk about something we've all been begging for. This is what the crowd had to say about it.
Vault space! Vault space! Vault space!
Yeah! Yeah, that's how I feel. Fucking give me some more vault space, son! So now when you go to your vault, you can see that you have a weapons tab, an armor tab, and a general tab. Each of these tabs have 2 pages to it. Oh my god, that's awesome! It's what we've been asking for since day 1. More vault space, people. More weapons, more armor, more general stuff, yeah! And not only was that cool, but guess what? As Planet Destiny pointed out at the very top of the page, you can see that there is a new Stranger's Rifle legendary weapon at the top there. You guys see that shit? You guys see that? Yeah! I would use a legendary Stranger's Rifle. That gun's fucking awesome. And then he briefly also scrolls over the Arc Edge, which one of the guys on the stream is actually wearing. This is a heavy sword. A heavy sword. It's a heavy weapon, but it's a sword. And as you read in the description, you use L2 to guard, effective against solar and void attacks, less effective against arc attacks. You can block with this sword, and I'm assuming it'll work something like a plasma sword in a sense where, you know, as you use it, it runs out of, like, uses or whatever. It runs out of energy, I guess. But, yeah, there's gonna be sword heavies now. Dude! Yeah! And that really is all they talked about, but at the very end of it, they showed off these sexy new dance move emotes. Oh my god. And look at that guy! You see the guy with the sword on his back? Dude! Dude! Heavy swords, people. Heavy swords. The heaviest of swords. Oh, how long did that take? I feel like that took a while. Oh god. So that is my Destiny Year 2 stream recap where they walk through the tower and whatnot. This is everything to look forward to in Taken King. There's a lot of stuff. The game is gonna feel like new, as I mentioned before, and once again, I'm just hype. I'm so hype right now. You know? How hype are you guys? I'm hype! Yeah! So that's all I got to talk about for today, guys. And as I usually say, drop a like for your boy Goblins if you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back here with more Destiny content shortly. So take it easy, have a general good, stay tuned, stay subscribed, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out! Kind of cool once again, but at the same time, it's, you know, I'm still a little on the fence about that because I like what I've got right now, but there's nothing wrong with change. And as it's mentioned before, you know, Activision isn't new to these types of expansions. Think of like World of Warcraft, for example. When you're playing World of Warcraft and a new expansion comes out, of course, your gear is going to become obsolete to whatever else is new in that expansion. So